Somewhere in your company's Google Drive or SharePoint or Dropbox or 15-year-old intranet, there's a very special document that's hiding out somewhere. I know it's real and you can't lie to me. It's the competitive landscape doc. It's got the logos of your top rivals, a grid of features, and check marks to show where you're better. We've all made them. It's a critical step in the process, right? But I'm gonna break your heart now. We've learned an unfortunate truth after working with a lot of teams. The competitors you're focused on in that doc probably don't matter. In today's video, I'll explain why, and I'll show you a secret technique we use in our sprints so you'll never have to worry about this again. Okay, so based on that competitor doc, I think you're fighting a losing battle. It's a feature arms race. You ship something, they ship something. You're trying to be 10% faster, 10% cheaper. Add one more integration, you kind of get the idea. According to the check marks on the doc though, you are objectively, provably better. But here's the thing, prospects probably still aren't switching. So why? I have a guess. I think it's because your real competitor probably isn't another company. It's the status quo. It's inertia. It's good enough. Here's what I mean. Let's pretend you're working at a fintech startup. If you already do work at a fintech startup, I'm sorry in advance for rubbing this in because I know it's true. For you and the vast majority of startups like yours, the real competitor isn't another app. It's probably something like Excel. It's messy, it's manual, but it's known. Same idea for project management tools and a simple shared Google Doc or something like that. The pain you're feeling isn't just the pressure of competition, it's the uphill battle of trying to change human behavior. And that is a battle you will never win by just adding one more feature. But who am I to sit on my little YouTube throne here and tell you all of this? My company Basis is actually built on the idea that a structured sprint is the fastest and most effective way to de-risk big bets and align teams. It's literally all we do. And we ran into this same problem. So please trust me, you are not alone. We recently ran our foundation sprint on ourselves to sharpen the Basis strategy. If you're not familiar, the foundation sprint is a 2-day workshop that's designed for any team at the beginning of a big project. It takes what might normally eat up something like 6 months or maybe even more and compresses it into 10 hours. A major part of the first section of the foundation sprint is covering our competition. When we got here, we fell into the exact same thinking trap as anyone else would. We just went ahead and listed out other agencies, other consultants. We started debating how our sprints are better or more efficient, like that kind of thing. It went fine, but it was flat. We were kind of lying to ourselves. It wasn't getting to the core truth of our client's problem. So the process forced us to ask a harder question. What is the default behavior of a team lead or founder when they're truly stuck? The answer probably isn't hire another firm. The answer is they probably try to brute force a solution themselves. They call more meetings, they work longer hours, they burn through their runway on a gut feeling because they're just tired of talking about it. Our real competitor is the status quo of doing it live and discussion for discussion's sake. But how do we beat an enemy like brute force? We obviously can't outwork it, so what happens now? This is the beauty of the second half of the foundation sprint. We can do it by reframing the entire playing field in our favor. We can't win on their turf, so we create our own turf. And this is how we can do that. It's a simple 2x2 grid. The power isn't in the grid itself, it's really in choosing the axes that we use to compare ourselves against our competition. This means we have to be really specific and honest about our choices. They have to represent not just what matters to our customers, but where we know we can win. For us, bad choices for axes might have been something like expensive versus affordable or fast versus slow. On that grid, we're just another dot in a crowded field. But knowing our real competition is the brute force mindset, we created brand new axes: alignment versus discord and collaborative versus prescriptive. Now watch what happens. The status quo, brute force and endless meetings, where does that live? Down here. That path creates discord, and it's driven by one person's idea or gut feel. It's prescriptive to the max, and every smart person on a team hates that. Traditional consultants might create some alignment, but it probably won't last long because they tend to go away and come back with a diagnosis. They're hugely prescriptive. It's the same problem. But a Basis sprint is inherently collaborative, and its entire purpose is to lock in team alignment. So look where that landed us against the alternatives. This was a huge revelation for us. Actually seeing something like this spelled out visually crystallized our entire strategy. We weren't just another option. We were a completely different way of solving this problem. So this is what I mean. True differentiation isn't being 10% better on your competitor's terms. It's about creating your own terms. When you get this right, it's awesome. It doesn't just inform some internal deck. It dictates your whole product strategy. It gives you the clarity to say no to something that might work in theory, but doesn't actually reinforce what makes you different. At the end of the day, this is what we love seeing happen with our clients. They stop fighting to be better and start tilting the playing field in their favor. So there really is no competition at all. This exercise is a critical moment in the foundation sprint. It's a 2-day process designed to de-risk your biggest bets and align your team. We wrote about the full experience of running it on ourselves, including all of these other lessons that we learned the hard way over on our website. If you want the full story, the link to that is in the description. But either way, I hope this was helpful and I'll see you next time.